Jape Vinyoga Ata स्वच्छन्दमात्मेच्छया द्युक्तं परशं भवन्तु चरणं दीपङ्कुरग्राहिणां प्रत्यक्षाक्षरविग्रहं गुरुपरम् सत्यं सत्यं न संशयः तल्लवर्थ प्रयनस्तु कर्तव्यो हि मनीषिभिः दूरविद्या जगन्माया देहि च ज्ञानसम्भवा उदयो य प्रकाशेन गुरुशब्देन कथ्यते सर्वपाप शुद्धात्मा श्री गुरु पार सेवनात् स्वकृपार्थं वदामि ते गुरु पारम्बुजं स्मृत्वा जलं शिरसि धारये सर्वतीर्थभगास्य सम्प्राप्नोति फलं नरः शोषणं पङ्कस्य दीपनं ज्ञानतेजसां गुरुपारोरकं सम्यक् संसारानवतारकम् अज्ञानमूलारणं जन्मकर्मनिवारणं ज्ञानवैराग्यसिद्ध्यर्थं गुरुपारोरकं पिबेत् गुरुपारोरकं पीत्वा गुरुरुचिष्टभोजनं गुरुमूर्ते सराध्यानं गुरुमन्त्रं सराजपे तनिवासो जानवीचरणोरकं गुरुविश्वेश्वर साक्षात् तारकं ब्रह्मनिष्ठितं गुरुपारोरकं यातु गायो सोक्षयो वचः तीर्थराज प्रयागश्च गुरुमूर्ते नमो नमः गुरुमूर्तिं स्मरे नित्यं गुरुनामसराजपे गुरुरञ्जन कुर्वित भावये गुरुवाक्त्र सितं ब्रह्मा प्राप्यते तत्प्रसादतः गुरुज्ञान सराकुर्यात् तुलस्वी स्वापतिर्यथा स्वशमं च स्वजन्तीं च स्मर्कृति पुष्टिवर्धनम् एतत् सर्वं परित्याज्य गुरुरन्यान् भावये अनन्यश्चिन्तयन्तो मां सुलभं परमं पदम् तस्मात् सर्वप्रयत्नेन गुरुराराधनं कुरु त्रैलोक्ये स्वकवक्तारो गुरुवक्त्रसिता विद्या गुरुभक्त्या तु लभ्यते ऋकारस्त्वन्धकारश्च ऋकारस्तेज उच्यते अज्ञानाग्रस्तकं ब्रह्म गुरुरेव न संशयः ऋकार प्रथमो वर्णो मायति गुणोपासकः ऋकारो द्वितीयो ब्रह्म मायाभ्रान्ति विनाशनम् एवं गुरु परं श्रेष्ठं देवानामपि दुर्लभम् गणेश्चैव गन्धर्वैश्च प्रपूज्यते ध्रुवं तेषां च सर्वेषां नास्ति तद्वं गुरो परम् आसनं शयनं वस्त्रं भूषणं वा नारिकाम् गुरुसन्तोषकारकं गुरुराराधनं कार्यं स्वजीवित्वं निवेदये कर्मणा मनसा वाचा नित्यमाराधये गुरुं दीर्घदण्डं नमस्कृत्य निर्लजो गुरुसानिरो शरीरमिन्द्रियं प्राणं सद्गुरुभ्यो निवेदये आत्मधारारिकं सर्वं सद्गुरुभ्यो निवेदये कृमिकीटभस्मभिष्टा दुर्गन्धिमालमूत्रकं श्लेष्मरक्तचामंसं वञ्चयेन वरानने संसारवृक्षमारुता हन्तन्तो नारकर्णवे येन चैव वृथा सर्वे तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः गुरु ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुरेव परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः एतवे जगतामेव संसारानावसेतवे प्रभवे सर्वविर्याणां शम्भवे गुरवे नमः अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः त्वं पिता त्वं च मे माता त्वं बन्धुस्त्वं च देवता संसारप्रतिभोरार्थं तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः यत्सत्येन जगत्सत्यं यदनन्देन नन्दन्ति तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः यस्य स्थित्या सत्यमिदं यापति बाणरूपता प्रियं पुत्रार्यप्रीत्य तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः येन चेतायते इदं चित्तं चेतायते नयं जाग्रत्स्वप्न सुषुप्यारि तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः यस्य ध्यानारिरं विश्वं नादृशं वीरभेरता सरेकरूपरूपाय तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। यस्य मतं तस्य मतं मातं यस्य न वेदसः अनन्या भावाय तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। यस्य कारणरूपस्य कार्यरूपेण भाति कार्यकारणरूपाय तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नानारूपमिदं सर्वं न केनाप्यस्ति विना च कार्यकारणचैव तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। यरङ्घ्रिकं ठारकं सर्वरापव्य श्रीगुरुं शरणं व्रजे। गुरुकृते शिवो नहि तस्मात् सर्वप्रयत्नेन श्रीगुरुं शरणं व्रजे। वन्दे गुरुपरद्वन्द्वं वमनश्चित्तगोचरं श्वेतरक्तप्रभाविनं शिवशक्त्यमकं परं। दुःखरं च गुणातीतं ऋकारं रूपवर्जितं गुणातीतं स्वरूपं च यो दद्यात् स गुरुस्मृतम्। आत्रिनेत्र सर्वसाक्षी आचतुर्बाहुरच्युता आचतुर्वदनो ब्रह्मा श्रीगुरुकथितप्रिये। क्षिप्यते मुखरितो मरुपेर्बुधेश्च चार्गार्तिज प्रभगवन् गुरुचक्रवर्ती विश्वोदय प्रलयनाकक नित्यसाक्षी श्रीनाथरि गुरुत्रयं गणपति पीतात्रयं भैरवं सिद्धोगपतुकात्रयं परयुगं धूति रमां मण्डलम् वीरन्द्राष्टदशषष्टिनवकं वीरबलिपञ्चकम् श्रीमामालिनी मन्त्रराजसहितं वन्दे गुरुर्मण्डलम् आभ्यस्ते सकले सुदीर्घमनिले व्याधिप्रदे दुष्करे प्राणायामशतेरने ककरणे दुःखात्मके दुर्जये यास्मे नाभ्युदिते विरक्षति बले वायु स्वयं तत्क्षणात् प्राप्तुं तत्सहजं स्वभावमनिशाम् त्वमेकं गुरुं स्वदेशिकसेव शरीरचिन्तनं भवेदनतास्य शिवा-Shakti-चिन्तनम् स्वदेशिकशे वचनामकीर्तनम् भवेदनतास्य शिवा-Shakti-कीर्तनम् यत्पररेणुकनिका कापि संसारवारिधे सेतुबन्धयते नाथं देशिकं तामुपास्महे यस्मादनुग्रहं लब्ध्वा महारज्ञानमुत्सुजे तस्मै श्रीकेन्द्राय नमस्ताभीष्टसिद्धये पारब्जं सर्वसंसारं दावनलविनाशकम् ब्रह्मरन्ध्रे सितं भोजा मध्यस्थं चन्द्रमण्डले अकातरीतिरे काब्जे सहस्रदलमण्डले हंसपार्श्व चिकोणे च स्मरेतन्मध्यगं गुरुम् सकलभुवनसृष्टिं कल्पितशेषपुष्टिर् निखिलनिगमदृष्टिं सम्परां व्यर्थदृष्टिम् अवगुणपरिमर्शिस् तत्परार्थैकदृष्टिर् भवगुणपरमेष्टिर् मोक्षमार्गे कदृष्टिम् सकलभुवनरङ्गा स्थापनस्तं वयस्ति सकरुण सरवृष्टिस् तत्त्वमाला समस्ति सच्चिदानन्ददृष्टिर् निवसतु मयि नित्यं श्रीगुरो दिव्यदृष्टि अग्निशुद्धसमं तात ज्वालपरीक्षकार्या मन्त्ररसमिमं मन्ये अणिशम्भमृत्यु च तरे जति तने जति तद्दुरे तत्समीपके तरन्तरस्य सर्वस्य तरु सर्वस्य बायथा अजोऽहम् अजरोऽहं च अनदिनिधना स्वयम् अविकारश्चिरानन्द आनियमातो मान् अपूर्वान् परं नित्यं स्वयं ज्योतिर्निरामयम् विरजं परमाकाशं ध्रुवमानन्दमव्ययम् श्रुतिप्रत्यक्षमेति मानुमानश्चतुष्टयम् देशिकं च सरस्मरे मरणं यभवं कार्यं तव रमिमामते सारुक्ष्वां च मया दृष्ट्वा त्वयि तिष्ठति सम्प्रतम् अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्यक्तं येन चराचरं तत्परं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः सर्वश्रुतिशिरोरत्ना विराजिता परम्बुजा वेरन्तम्बुजसूर्यो यस् तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः यस्य स्मरणमात्रेण ज्ञानमुपार्यते स्वयं य एव सर्वसम्प्राप्तिस् तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः चैतन्यं शाश्वतं शान्तं व्योमतीतं निरञ्जनं नारबिन्दुकलातीतं तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः स्थावरं जगमं चैव तथा चैव चराचरं व्याप्तं येन जगत्सर्वं तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः ज्ञानशक्तिसमारुद्धस् भुक्तिमुक्तिप्रदातायस् तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। अनेकजन्म सम्प्राप्ता सर्वकर्मविदाहिने स्वात्मज्ञान प्रभावेन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। न गुरोररिकं तत्त्वं न गुरोररिकं तपः तत्त्वं ज्ञानपरं नास्ति तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। मनता श्री जगन्नाथो मद्गुरु श्री जगद्गुरु मम सर्वभूतात्मा तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। ज्ञानमूलं गुरुमूर्ति पूजमूलं गुरुपरं मन्त्रमूलं गुरुवाक्यं मोक्षमूलं गुरुकृपा। गुरुराधिरनारीष्ट गुरुपरतरं नास्ति तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। सप्तसागरपर्यन्तं गुरुरङ्घ्रिपयो बिन्दु सहस्रं श्रेण दुर्लभम्। गुरुरुष्टे गुरुश्राता गुरुरुष्टेन कश्चन तस्मात् सर्वप्रयत्नेन श्रीगुरुं शरणं व्रजे। गुरुरेव जगत् सर्वं ब्रह्म विष्णु शिवात्मकं गुरुपरतरं नास्ति तस्मात् सम्पूजयेत् गुरुम्। ज्ञानविज्ञानसहितं लभ्यते गुरुभक्तिजा गुरुपरतरं नास्ति ध्येयोऽसौ गुरुमार्गिभिः। यस्मात् परतरं नास्ति मनसा वाचसा चैव नित्यमाराधयेत् गुरुम्। गुरो कृपा प्रसादेन विष्णु सदाशिवा समर्था प्रभवादो च केवलं गुरुसेवया। देवकी नरगन्धर्व पितरो यक्षचारणा मुनयोऽपि न जानन्ति गुरुशुश्रूषणे विधिम्। अहङ्कारगर्वेण तापवेद्यावलन्विता संसारको अरावर्ते गतयन्त्रे यथा गता। न मुक्ता देवगन्धर्व पितरो यक्षकिन्नरा ऋषयः सिद्धश्च गुरुसेवा परमुखा। ज्ञानं शृणु महादेवे सर्वानन्दप्रदायकं सर्वसौख्यहरं नित्यं भुक्तिमुक्तिदायकम्। श्रीमत् परब्रह्म गुरुं स्मरामि श्रीमत् परब्रह्म गुरुं वदामि श्रीमत् परब्रह्म गुरुं नमामि श्रीमत् परब्रह्म गुरुं भजामि। ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यारिलक्षम्। एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वदि साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि। निराभासं निराकारं निरञ्जनं नित्यघोरं चिदानन्दं गुरुब्रह्मानमम्याम्। उदम्बुजे कर्णिकमद्य संस्थे सीमासने Samsitya Divyamurtim Jayet Gurum Chandrakala Prakasham Chipustaka Vistavaram Dharanam Shvetambaram Shvetavilepa Pushpam Mukta Vibhusham Muritam Dvinetram Vamam Kapita Sthita Shiva-Shaktim Mandasmitam Sandrakapaniranam Anandamanan Prasanam Jnana Swarupam Nijaborayuktam Yogindra Medyam Bhavaroga Vedyam Shrima Gurum Nityamam Namami Ramsa Nigranugrabakam Truntyam Pancha Viram Shashvat Vasate Tam Namamyam Pratashira Shishuklabje Dvinetvam Dvibhujam Gurum Varavaya Yutam Shantam Smaretam Nama Purvakam Nagurorarikam Nagurorarikam Nagurora Prabodha Sanata Shiva Sanata it's in the office Sanata Virameva Shivam Virameva Shivam Virameva Shivam Virameva Shivam Mama Shasanato Mama Shasanato Mama Shasanato Mama Shasanata Evam Vidam Gurum Yatva Yanamupadyate Swayam Tat Satguru Prasadena Muktohamiti Bhavaye Guru Darshita Margena Manashuddhim Tukaraye Anityam Karaye Sarvam Yakinchinda Magocharam Eyam Sarva Swarupam Cha Yana Cha Mana Uchate Yana Meya Samam Kuryan Nanya Panta Dutiyaka Evam Shurva Mahadevi Sayati Narakam Gauram Yava Chandra Divakaram Yava Kalpan Takodehas Stavadeva Gurum Smare Guru Lopam Nakartavya Swachando Yaribhabhave Hunkarena Navaktavya Ragnishisekatanchana Guru Ragrena Vaktavyam Asatyam Chakarachana Gurum Tvam Krityam Kritya Gurum Nirjitya Varta Aranirnya Tale Deshe Sabhave Brahma Rakshasa Muni Pipanagir Vapi Sureva Shapito Yari Kala Mrityu Bayar Vapi Guru Rakshati Parvati Ashaktahi Suradyascha Guru Shapena Te Shigram Shayam Yantina Samshaya Mantra Raja Miram Devi Guru Rityaksharadvayam Smurti Verartha Vakyena Guru Saksha Paramvaram Shruti Smurti Avignaya Kevalam Guru Sevakam Teve Sanya Sina Prokta Nita अवतारे वेशधारिणां नित्यं ब्रह्म निराकारं निर्गुणं बोधये पेनम् अनेन गुरुमार्गेण स्वात्मज्ञानं प्रवर्तते ब्रह्मस्तवपर्यन्तं परमात्मस्वरूपकं स्थावरं जगमं चैव प्रणमामि जगन्मयं वन्देऽहं सच्चिदानन्दं निरतीतं सरगुरुं नित्यं पूर्णं निराकारं निर्गुणं स्वामसंस्थितम् परतरं ध्येयम् हृदयाकाशमर्यष्टं शुद्धस्फटिकसानिभं स्फटिका प्रतिमारूपं दृश्यते दर्पणे यथा तथा मणिचिराकारम् आनन्दं सौमित्युतम् अङ्गुष्ठमन्त्रपुरुषं दायताश्चिन्मयं मृडीं तत्र स्फुरति भावो यात् शृणुतां कातयं याम् अगोचरं तथा गम्यं नामरूपविवर्जितं निःशब्दं च विजानीयात् स्वभावं ब्रह्म पार्वती यतः गन्धस्वभावेन शीतोष्णारे स्वभावेन तथा ब्रह्मा च शाश्वतम् स्वयं तथा विदो भूत्वा स्तव्यं यत्र कुत्रचित् कितब्रह्मरवतत्र ज्ञानं भवति तदृशम् गुरुज्ञानं तथा कृत्वा स्वयं ब्रह्ममयो भवेत् पिण्डे परे तथा रूपे मुक्तो सो नात्र संशयः श्री पार्वती उवाच पिण्डं किं तु महादेव परं किं समुदारुचं रूपतीतं च रूपं किम् एतत्त्याय शङ्करा श्रीमहादेव उवाच पिण्डं कुण्डलिनी शक्ति परमं समुदारुचं रूपं बिन्दुरिति ज्ञेयं रूपतीतं निरञ्जनम् निमुक्ता परे मुक्ता रूपे मुक्ता वरानने रूपचिन्ते तु ये मुक्तास्ते मुक्ता नात्र संशयः स्वयं सर्वमयो भूत्वा परं तत्त्वं विलोकये परतरं नन्यात् सर्वमेतान् निरालयम् तस्य अवलोकनं प्राप्य सर्वसङ्गविवर्जिता एकाकिनी प्रहसन्तस्तिष्ठते प्रसादतः लाडं वचनलाडं वा निष्कामेनैव भोक्तव्यं सदा सन्तुष्टते च सा सर्वज्ञ परमित्याहुर् देहि सर्वं मयो पुरा सरानन्द सरशन्तो रामते यत्र कुत्रचित् यत्रैव तिष्ठते सोऽपि सदिश पुण्यभाजनाम् मुक्तस्य लक्षणं देवी तवाग्रे कथितं मया उपदेशा सता देवी गुरुमार्गेण मुक्तिरा गुरुभक्ति सता ध्यानं सकलं च कीर्तितम् अनेन या भवेत् कार्यं तव वरमिमामचेत् लोकोपकारकं देवी लौकिकं चूर्णभावये लौकिका कर्मणो यन्ति यानि तु भावये सर्वं कर्मनिष्कर्म यत्कृतं निरं तु भक्तिभावेन लिखित्वा प्रदातव्यं तत्सर्वं सफलं भवेत् गुरुगीतामकं देवे शुद्धतवं मयूरितं भावव्यारे विनाशार्थं स्वयमेव जपे सदा गुरुगीताक्षरेकं च मन्त्ररसामिमं जपे अन्ये च विवेरा मन्त्रा फलं नरन्ति षोडशीम् अनन्तफलमप्नोति गुरुगीता जपेन तु सर्वपापप्रशमनं सर्वदारिद्र्यनाशनं कालमृत्युभयाहरं सर्वसङ्कटनाशनं यक्षरक्षभूतानां चोरव्याघ्रभयापाम् माव्यारिहरं सर्वं विभूतिसिरिदं भवेत् आतवामोहरं वश्यं स्वयमेव जपे सदा वासस्थाने च दारिद्र्यं मेरिण्यां दुःखमाप्नोति हस्ते भवति निष्फलम् कृष्णजिनेयरसिद्धिर्मोक्षशीव्याघ्रचर्मणि कुशसनेयरसिद्धि सर्वसिरुष्टुकम्बले कुशे वा दुर्वया देवी आसने शुभ्रकम्बले जपे देक्राकमानसा देयं शुक्लं च शन्यर्थं वश्ये रक्तासनं प्रिये अभिचारे कृष्णवर्णं पीतवर्णं धनागमे उत्तरे शान्तिकामस्तु वश्ये पूर्वामुखो जपे दक्षिणे मरणं प्रोक्तं पश्चिमे च धनागमा मोहनं सर्वभूतानां बन्धमोक्षकरं भवेत् देवराज प्रियकरं सर्वलोकवशं भवेत् सर्वेषां समनकरं गुणनं च विवर्धनं दुष्कर्मनाशनं चैव सुकर्मसिद्धिं भवेत् आसीदं सदये कार्यं नवग्रहभयापां दुःस्वप्ननाशनं चैव सुस्वप्नफलदायकं सर्वशान्तिकरं नित्यम् अवेदव्यं करं श्रीणां सौभाग्यदायकं सदा आयुरारोगमेश्वर्य पुत्रपौत्रवर्धनम् अकामात श्रीविराम जपमोक्षमवाप्नुयात् अवेदव्यं सकामात् लभते चान्यजन्मनि नाशये चापहारकान् सर्वबाधाप्रशमनं धर्मतः काममोक्षरं यं यं चिन्तते कामं तं च प्राप्नोति निश्चितम् कामितस्य कामधेनु कल्पना कल्पपारपा चिन्तमानिश्चितितस्य सर्वमङ्गलकारकम् मोक्षहेतुर्जपे नित्यं मोक्षश्रियामवाप्नुयात् भोगकामो जपेद्यो वे तस्य कामफलप्रदम् जपे च तस्य गणपत्यश्च वैष्णवा सेवश्च शरीरं देवी सत्यं सत्यं न संशया अत काम्य जपे स्थानं कथयामि वरानने सागरे वा सरितीरे अथवा हरालये शक्तिदेवालये गोष्ठे सर्वदेवालये शुभे वते जदात्रिमूले वा मातृवृन्दावने तथा पवित्रे निर्मले स्थाने नित्यानुष्ठानतो विवा निर्विधानेन मनेन जपामेतं समाचरे श्मशाने वायवमोतु वन्तमूलान्तिके तथा सिद्ध्यन्ते दोतरे मूले चित्तवृक्षससानिरो गुरुपुत्रो वरं मूर्खास् तस्य सिद्ध्यन्ति नान्यथा शुभकर्माणि सर्वाणि दीक्षाव्रता तपंसि च भावपाशानिवृत्तये गुरुगीतां वसि स्नानान् तद्वाद्या कुरुते सदा स एव च गुरुसाक्षात् सदा स ब्रह्मवित्तमान् तस्य स्थानानि सर्वाणि पवित्राणि न संशया सर्वशुद्ध पवित्रोऽसौ स्वभवद्यत्र तिष्ठति तत्र देवगणाः सर्वे क्षेत्रेऽपि ते वसन्ति आसनस्थ शयनो वा अश्वरूढो गजारूढः सुप्तो वा जागृतोऽपि वा शुचिश्वासा शरण्यानि गुरुगीता जपेन च सर्व क्षीरे क्षीरं घृते घृतं भिन्ने कुम्भे यथाकाशात् तथा परमात्मनि तथैवाज्ञानि जीवात्मा परमात्मनि लीयते ऐक्येन रमते ज्ञानी यत्र तत्र रिवानिशाम् एवं विद्धो महामुक्तः सर्वदा वर्तते बुधा तस्य सर्वप्रयत्नेन भावभक्तिं करोति यः सर्वसन्देहरहितो मुक्तो भवति पार्वती भुक्तिमुक्तिद्वयं तस्य जीवाग्रे च सरस्वती गुरुगीता जपेन च सर्वसिद्धिर्प्राप्नुवन्ति मुक्तिं न संशया अस्तं सत्यं पुनः सत्यं धर्मं सख्यं मयोरितां गुरुगीता समं नास्ति सत्यं सत्यं वरानने एको देव एक धर्म एकनिष्ठा परं तपः गुरुपरतरं धन्यात् नास्ति तत्त्वं गुरुपरम् माता धन्या पिता धन्यो धन्यो वाचाकुलं च धन्या च वसुरा देवी गुरुभक्तिः दुर्लभा शरीरमेन्द्रियं प्राणश्चर्तस्वजनबन्धवा माता पिता कुलं देवी गुरुरेव न संशया अकल्पजमनकोत्या Tatsarvam safalam devi Guru santoshamatra cha Vidya tapo baleneva Mandavagyastraye nara Guru sevam na kurvanti Satyam satyam varanane Brahma Vishnu Maheshascha Devarshi Pitra Kinnara Siddhacharana Yakshascha Anepi Munayojana Guru Bhava Param Tirtam Anya Tirtam Nirartakam Sarva Tirta Shayo Devi Parangushtam Chavartate Japena Jayam Abnoti Hina Karma Dhyajan Sarvam Sanani Charamani Cha Japamina Sanam Kurvan Hina Karma Falapadam Guru Gitam Prayaneva Sangrame Rupasankate Japanjayam Avapnoti Marane Muktirayakam Sarvaso Sarvatra Guru Putra Siddhyati Iram Rasano Vacham Tavakre Katitam Maya Sugopyam Cha Prayanena Mamam Cham Cha Priyatviti Swami Mukya Ganeshari Vishnavareenam Cha Parvati Manasapi Avaktavyam Pachitaya Shraddha Bhakti Utaya Cha Pravaktavyam Eram Devi Amamasi Sarapriye Bhakti Vanchake Durte Hakane Nastike Nare Manasapi Avaktavya Guru Gita Karachana Samsara Sagara Samudragane Kamantram Brahmadi Deva Pujita Siddha Mantram Daridra Dukha Bhavaro Gavinasha Mantram Vande Mahabhayaram Guru Raja Mantram Iti Shri Skanda Purane Uttarakande Ishvara Parvati Samvade Guru Gita Samapta Shri Gurudev Vacharanar Panamastu Nityanandaya Gurave Shishya Samsararine Bhaktakare Navaya Namaste Chitsadatmane Nirvasanam Nirakamsham Savadosha Vivarjitam Niranabam Niratankam Nirmamam Nirankaram Samadoshtashmakanshanam Samadukha Sutariram Avarudam Namamiyam Avinashi Amaram Ekavignaya Tattvatam Nam Deo Name Deo Jivanamamiti Eva Vigna Santushtam Avarutam Namamiyam Samasta Kalpana Mantram Atmamukta Sanatana Iti Vignaya Santruptam Nityanandam Namamiyam Yanagviragna Karmanam Kama Sankalpa Varjitam Eyopare Hinamtam स्वभावेनेव यो योगी सुखं भोगं न वंशति यदृशालवसन्तुष्टं नित्यानन्दं नमम्यहम् नैव निन्दा प्रशंसाभ्यां यस्य विक्रियते मनः आत्मक्रीडामात्मानम् अवधूतं नमम्यहम् नित्यं जाग्रदवस्थायां स्वप्नवद्योपतिष्ठते निश्चितं चिन्मयमानं नित्यानन्दं नमम्यहम् द्वेषं नास्ति प्रियं नास्ति नास्ति यस्य शुभाशुभं वीरध्यानविराजं जरं पश्यति नो यस्तु जगत् पश्यन्ति चिन्मयं नित्ययुक्तं गुणातीतं नित्यानन्दं नमम्यहम् यो हि दर्शनमात्रेण भवते भुवनत्रयं पावनं जगमं तीर्थम् अवधूतं नमम्यहम् सर्वपूज्यं सर्वपूर्णम् अखण्डानन्दविग्रहं स्वप्रकाशं चिदानन्दं नित्यानन्दं नमम्यहम् निष्कलं निष्क्रियं शान्तं निर्मलं परममृतं तनेशापुरिवासिनम् अवधूतं नमम्यहम् योगपूर्णं तपोमूर्तिं प्रेमपूर्णं सुदर्शनं ज्ञानपूर्णं कृपामूर्तिं नित्यानन्दं नमम्यहम् दुर्जना सज्जनो भूयात् सज्जना शान्तिमाप्नुयात् शान्तो मुचेत बन्धेभ्यो मुक्ताश्चन्यान् विमोचये स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्ताम् येन महिषा गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथिवी शस्यशालिनी देशोऽयं शोभरहितो ब्रह्मणः सन्तु निर्भयाः सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् दुर्गाणि सर्वभद्राणि पश्यतु सर्वकामानवप्नोतु सर्वसर्वत्र नन्दतु स्वस्ति मातरौ पितॄणो अस्तु स्वस्ति गोभ्यो जगते पुरुषेभ्यः विश्वं सुभूतं सुविरात्र नो अस्तु योगे वदृक्षे सूर्यम् ॐ शान्ति 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 आरति करु Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai. Sadgurunath Maharaj ki jai. Maharaj ki jai.
I'd like to welcome you all through the welcome program for Gurudev's Shree visit here. Now that he's here, he thinks he fell out a little bit. I'm very happy to have you here, Gurudev. Thanks for the long journey and return to your home, one of your homes. I'd like to ask Prabhu and Panchi to come forward and do the welcome arati, please.
हरिः ॐ ब्रह्मज्ञानं प्रथमं पुरस्ताद्विषीमतः सुरुचोभेन आवः संज्ञा उपमा अस्याविष्ठाः सातश्च जोनिमा सातश्च विवाह ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं
Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvanvatitam Gagana Sadvrsham Tadvamasyari Laksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Trigunaraitam Sadgurum Tam Namami Agoram Karunavataram Samsara Saram Bhujagendraharam Saravasantam Mridayaravinде Bhavam Bhavani Saitam Namami Mangala Mangalye Shive Sarvatra Sadike Sharanye Trambake Gauri Narayani Namostute Narayani Namostute Narayani Namostute Om Namah Parvati Pate Hara 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 Mahadev Sadgurunath Maharaj ki jai.
Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai. And good morning again, and welcome to everyone that's here presently in the room, here in Walden. And welcome to everybody that's watching online. So we just had Gurudev's arrival yesterday. He came around 10 in the morning. It was a quite quiet but very powerful few minutes that he spent in the hall. And similar to the experience that we just had here together after chanting the Guru Gita, settling into that space of the Guru, of Shakti, that we're all so familiar with, but in the presence of Gurudev, it's deeper, for me anyway, it's my experience, more profound, and I appreciate it so much that he comes back here and that he carries the lineage with him, or we could say the lineage carries him, carries all of us, and it's that Shakti and that Guru principle, the mantra, the lineage that we're so grateful for, that we're participating in it. We're being lifted and inspired by it. It always occurs to me and Larry when we do this introduction to Gurudev coming to his own home, to think about the idea of coming and going. And before coming here, Gurudev was in a number of places. In each of those places, once he left, people said goodbye, and he went to the next place and they said hello. And each of the ways in which that occurs, the hello and the goodbye, is through a pranam. Because not just welcoming Gurudev, we're welcoming that principle. And Gurudev comes with inspiration. Like I thought to myself, he doesn't come empty-handed, even though he appears to be empty-handed. He has intention and inspiration. And this moment of the spring of 2025, the seed for each year is planted in the previous year, the idea of what the subject of the year is going to be, what the programs will be, what the study will be. And last fall, after we had the course and we were having Navaratra, there were a number of things that I look back at my notes and which Gurudev talked about. He was talking about Navaratra, and he said the first 3 days in which the Devi is present to us and manifests, and we meditate on her, are about Kali, the goddess Kali. And Kali is all about time and about not wasting time, which was a big theme for last year. And said that the next 3 days are Lakshmi, abundance. And in this way, the Devi is present in all of our lives, especially because of the Guru's presence in our lives. Lakshmi and then Saraswati. Ultimately, it's wisdom. It's pure knowledge of that space that we become comfortable in and identify with in the presence of the Guru. So 3, time, abundance, and wisdom, what he talked about. And it is said each time we have a Navaratra, we celebrate or honor the ancestors and all the different ceremonies that exist in the Vedic tradition. We're doing a reset, a special download. Like recently the phone said, do you want to accept this download? And you never know what's going to happen. And Jackie's complaining, my emails are all messed up. I don't like it the way it's shown. But the download that comes in the presence of the Guru and in the inspirations of the Guru never fails. It cleans us up, makes us more pure, makes us more open, so that we can actually live in the presence of the goddess. Because it takes a lot of work, takes a lot of focus, a lot of devotion. Recently, Baba Gurudev was talking about this subject, Shiva-Shakti, a lot. And we've been studying that and really diving deep into it. And for me, it's been absolutely fantastic. And he said recently, it's a wonderful understanding and a wonderful sadhana, a wonderful practice. So those two things stay with me. An understanding, the understanding that everything is consciousness. Everything is Shiva-Shakti. Everything, and Gurudev is, I think he's going to talk about it today, looking at the board there. Everything is Shiva-Shakti. Everything is the static, powerful potency of Shiva in all the manifestation, sustenance, Kali, Lakshmi, Saraswati, and dissolution and concealment and grace are done through the Shakti, through that principle of consciousness. So he said it's a wonderful understanding. The sages are trying to teach us this, to have this understanding, but not just to have an intellectual understanding of it, but have the absolute conviction because we experience it. Because it's really true. Everything is consciousness. But because the mind, they say, because the mind is too externalized, too attached to this life that appears to be all real, we miss the essence, which is the Shakti, which is Shiva-Shakti principle. So he got very, very inspired during his last visit. He said he was almost like he didn't know quite what it was, but you remember, I think, perhaps. Anybody remember that? He had quite a, yes, some of you remember. And then it started to take a shape. And so he shaped this year. So this year comes from the inspiration, the sankalpa, that we'll study Shiva-Shakti principle. And we'll do it in this way. There'll be Navaratra, and prior to Navaratra, we'll put a course. And then we'll have Navaratra in the fall. Prior to Navaratra, there will be a course. And the course will be about Shiva-Shakti principle. So these principles are going to be studied in the study groups, in the intensives, in the course itself. And then the study will then move into actual practice in Navaratra. So when he said this is a great understanding and a great sadhana, so you have the understanding, it may be theoretical at first, because the mind may not be quiet enough. It's as simple as that. When the mind becomes more quiet, then we start to feel the scintillating presence that's awakened by the Guru. But it takes sadhana, so he said it's a great understanding and a great sadhana or practice. So in the Navaratra, we invoke the goddess. The priests create a wonderful representation of everything in the universe, all the aspects of Shakti, and then we enjoy that presence, which is amplified by the presence of the Guru, and there's understood to be, in our own experience, there's no difference between the Guru and the Shakti and the mantra. So this is the gift that comes from the sankalpa that Gurudev had. So this year is a manifestation of that. So we're so happy that you came back again, Gurudev, and that you're here, and that you're going to speak to us. And so, Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai.
Muktanandaya Gurave Shishya Samsarahārine Bhaktakare Kadehaya Namaste Chitsadatmane Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Sachidanandamurtaye Nishrapancha Yashantaya Niralambaya Tejase Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karava Vahai Tejasvina Vadhitamastu Ma Vidvisha Vahai Om Shanti 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 Satgurnath Maharaj Ki Jai. With great love and respect, a heartfelt welcome to everyone here, in person and online, as Dana said. So I begin with offering gratitude to everyone because it's our third month. So we've already had 2+ months of this book called Saundarya Lahari. It weighs a kilo, which is 2.2 pounds, and maybe 2.5 pounds. And I know that because I weighed it as we brought some copies here to Walden from India. So to everyone who's been teaching, to all the students online, the seekers interested, and the board is to try and explain and maybe bring forth this whole thought, concept, idea. So Shiva and Shakti, as Dana said, static and dynamic, or masculine and feminine, but not talking in the sense that we always will relate to as male and female, but masculine and feminine, which we will get into, and something that you often hear is yin and yang. So to get all of this into your head, okay, in this next almost an hour, I guess it will be by the time I finish. But you have to expand out of your democratic thought process. When I say democratic, I think democratic is always about trying to be right, trying to be correct, trying to be proper. So the whole Eastern thought is not limited in the way that the democratic thought process is about, and it's not always about being right or being correct or being proper. It's about what is in the universe, what is in creation, and what exists. I wore this bead. I've had it for a long time. I don't know how long. It's called Gauri Shankar. Many of you know the Rudraksha bead that's worn by many, but this is made in nature. It represents the male and female, or masculine and feminine. And so yin and yang comes from the Chinese philosophical concept that talks about two opposite forces, yet interconnected and complementary. So Baba Muktananda often said, each one of us is born of a mother and a father, or a father and a mother. So you cannot eliminate one from the other. You cannot eliminate the father from the mother or the mother from the father. So when we say Shiva and Shakti, the first verse, I think Umesh talked about it last week, was Shiva-Shaktya yukto bhavati. When Shiva-Shakti come together, then Shiva has the power to create. Shiva cannot create by himself, by itself, but it needs the feminine, the yang, the Shakti, the energy to create. So in all of the philosophy of the Indian creation, we have Brahma and Saraswati, we have Vishnu and Lakshmi, we have Shiva and Parvati. So Brahma is the creator. The creator has Saraswati, the goddess of wisdom, who helps create this universe that we live in. Vishnu, the sustainer, has Lakshmi. Lakshmi is abundance, because you cannot sustain this universe without abundance. Then there's Shiva, which often is thought of as the destroyer, but rather we can just say he takes the universe back into himself through Parvati, Kali, and all of the various names or forms that we study about. So, in our universe, when you begin to realize that there are these two complementary forces that make up all aspects and all phenomena of life. So when you think of masculine, you think of power. When you think of feminine, you think of beauty. You think of grace. You think about movement. So each one of us has power. Each one of us has that strength. And each one of us has the beauty. Each one of us has the grace. So whether you're in the male form or the female form, both of them have that power, that strength. Societies, over time, have always tried to develop this power within each and every one of us. Today we are a little bit confused. Today meaning in the last probably 30 to 50 years, trying to understand what is this power, what is this Shakti, what is this grace, what is this beauty. The Upanishads are very clear, Nayam Shakti Balahineno Atma Labhyo. Without power, without strength, you cannot experience the Atman or the self that dwells within you. So you need that power. And when you look at forms of dance, especially in the Indian tradition, you'll find that there are certain dance forms that are performed by the masculine, there are certain dance forms that are performed by the feminine. And both are just as graceful and beautiful. So neither one is good or bad. Both are just what it is. So in the Chinese sense, yin is a symbol of the earth, femaleness, darkness, passivity, and absorption, present in even numbers in valleys, streams, and represented by the color orange and a broken line. Yang is conceived of as heaven, maleness, light, activity, penetration, present in odd numbers in mountains, represented by the dragon, the color azure, and an unbroken line. So there's a mountain, there is the river. There's the river, there's the mountain. So when you begin to look at nature in this way and in this form, Shiva and Shakti, the masculine and feminine, exist in so many different forms in nature. Of course, we don't look at it that way. We are always, when I say democratic, we're always into creating separation. We're always into creating division. Whereas when the scriptures talk about oneness, and in that oneness, you don't see difference, but you see the one, and within that one, you see the separation, the difference, but yet at the same time, you see united or unity. So you look at harmony. And that is what this whole play of Shiva-Shakti is represented as, both opposite or seemingly opposite, but yet complementary. And when we learn today, or when we are educated today, we're always told it's either like this, or it's like this, or it's not like this, and it is like this. Whereas when you start studying scriptures and they use nature, they try to teach to you that all of these various forces exist in nature. Yesterday was windy. Today is not windy. Tomorrow it will be wet, and then the other day it will be dry. It is cold right now, soon it will be hot. And we begin to love and not love one or the other. Or you think, Devi and sister talked about yesterday, that up in Big Bear, in California, there were 3 eaglets that were born. And I watched a little bit of it, and it snowed. So of course, the first question the reporter asks, how will this little eaglet live in the cold? And so the elderly lady who was watching over this whole thing talked about the bird has 115 degrees of warmth in itself. Nature has taught the bird that it shall take care of its little ones and provide it the warmth that is necessary to keep it alive. Think of this. Nature has taught or given the understanding to that male and female eagle to know how to keep that bird warm so that it survives. Now the bird in its turn continues to respond to nature, to the yin and yang, rather than trying to use its own, should we say, mental device, if that's the right word, to decide what is right or what is not right, or what is correct or what is not correct. As humans, we forget to connect to that divine intuition which exists within us. We decide that I will be the one who will try and correct the situation. In the Yoga Sutras, there is a sutra that says, Ishvara Praninanat Va. Surrender to the divine, we could say, force, energy, surrender. But then the question arises within each one of us, why should I surrender when there is an I? And if I want to surrender, then who do I surrender to? The surrender is to the Shiva and Shakti, the masculine and feminine principle that exists. Shiva-Shaktya yukto vahati. The union of Shiva and Shakti, these two forms that exist in nature. You look at your brain, they talk about a left side, they talk about a right side. Now, both exist within us. We cannot say, I'm not going to respond to one side and respond to the other side. It doesn't work that way. A balance of both is necessary. When we think about in each and every one of us, what is the assertive force? What is the powerful force? It is the masculine force. What is the feminine force? It is the intuitive. It is the nurturing. So each one of us, whether you're male or whether you're female, whether you're man, whether you're woman, these two Shaktis or energies are there. They're not linked to gender. They go beyond that, universal and coexisting in each one of us. Each has our strength and weakness, and each complement the other. I mean, do not throw off the balance. When you look at a child, girl or boy, it responds as much to the father as it does to the mother. People then try to always try and figure out who is the child attached to. Really, the child is attached to neither one, but to both of them. And in our modern day society, and I should not bring up this subject, but it's a stigma or whatever you want to call it, divorce has become so prominent, and we don't look at that to satisfy my own personal situation. What does it do to that child that we have given birth to? What is the effect of the Shiva and Shakti, of the masculine and feminine force? Because of the work that I've been involved in the last 40 plus years, you begin to see the effects of all of these situations that take place in society upon the human mind and the disturbance that it creates. We're not creating balance. We're not creating harmony. We're not creating where, sometimes maybe I have to give. Sometimes maybe the other has to give. Sometimes maybe I have to be dominant and forceful. Sometimes the other has to be dominant and forceful. We always want to be the dominating one. We always want to be the forceful one because that's how we think it works. But there is a give and there is a take. I'm very sorry to bring any of this that could be disturbing, but when you talk about this whole complementary and harmonic forces in nature, you have to begin to think of what is it each one of us represents in this life and the disturbance that each one of us causes, because we have become so egoistic in our upbringing today that we don't think about giving. We don't think about letting go. We don't think about it's okay. And I see this world over. It's not related to any one particular country or place. Thanks to social media now, everybody's in the know of everything, but not necessarily always in the know of the truth, of the right. Swami, who was a Shankaracharya from, I think we met him in the 80s. He says, when you think of this Saundarya Lahari, Adi Shankara composed this hymn with an open mind. Now, the Adi Shankara lived back in the 8th century. Now, 8th century, Adi Shankara composed this with an open mind. And so you can imagine what is it that the Acharya wants to, what is his aim in composing this hymn? What benefits did he want his devotees to derive from reading this? Being a hymn to Amba, the goddess, exclusive devotion must be created for her in her highest plane of glory. And he said again, today what has happened is because each one of us thinks that I can read and write. Swami Chandrasekhara Saraswati, who's writing his thoughts or commentary on this, he says, what we have done is rather than illumine, we have confused. Because each one of us thinks, I understand what is Shiva and Shakti. I understand what is masculine and feminine. I understand what is yin and yang. And what he says here, what is more important is sadhana, is practice. To evolve within yourself, to come to an illumination within yourself. To come to a place of understanding within yourself and to realize that we are not to be limited by the rules that society has created, but to begin to understand that not just men are masculine, not just women are feminine, but both qualities exist. Now these are conversations I've had in individual situations with people over the years. Men who understand this, women who understand this. A man may be big, strong, but powerful, yet within that human, within that person, are beautiful qualities. Now what are those beautiful qualities? Each one of us has it very different. Same with women. I remember back in the 80s when we traveled with Baba Muktanand, the woman was building muscle. And I told her, why are you doing that? She said, I want to show the world I am powerful. And I laughed to myself because I came from a society where the woman did not show her power through her muscles, but through her dominating force, energy. My mother was like that. So I knew my mother didn't work out to show her father, her husband, my father, that she was a dominating force. But through her being, she was able to share that. I just smiled because I was too young to even have a conversation with somebody who was just 10 years older than me, but had been brought up here in the United States of America, because I knew what I said would just go whoosh, and I might get bashed by her. And her name was Chinmayi. Chinmayi is consciousness. So, the writer here says the urge to conform with society can be a very overwhelming force. The urge to conform with society. Because when I begin to think and feel for myself, I might feel alone, I might feel lonely. But yet at the same time, realize and remember that you are not alone and lonely. There are others who think the same way you think, but you have to find them. And you cannot be a wacko thinker, I'll be clear about that too. Because there are wacko thinkers, and you find wacko thinkers and you think, oh, we have the same thought. No, you have the same thought, but it's the incorrect thought. Now you might ask me, how do you define that? It's a little complicated. So, so we have to learn to embrace and balance both of these energies, Shiva and Shakti. Become more rounded, become more leveled, build a stronger, more understanding relationship with ourselves, with those around us, able to grow more easily in confidence and self-awareness. Now when you look around in society, you realize each one of us is unique, beautiful, special in our own way. But when that unique, beautiful, special doesn't fit into our regulated mindset, then we begin to wonder what is wrong with that individual, with that person. You begin to realize what has happened in many situation cases. One aspect of the Shiva, or one aspect of the Shakti has become more dominant than the other. And why? There are many reasons. Could be the parents, could be the upbringing, could be society. It's many different things. You cannot just pick on one little thing and say, this is why it is. It could also be previous karmas, memories, samskaras that has come forth into this life. So, we need to understand so much to discover, to be able to have the strength, the power to accept and know that there is an authentic self, an authentic individual, and to nurture these capabilities in ourselves. So last night, as I thought about it, I realized we have what we call three gunas, sattva, rajas, and tamas. Sattva is freeing. Rajas is limiting. Tamas is binding. So, along with the play of Shiva and Shakti, the masculine and feminine, there are these qualities or gunas that play into our life, in situations in life. Freeing, limiting, binding. So, the focus when we come about sadhana, into sadhana, is about freeing. How can I go about so not only am I freeing myself, but I'm helping others to become free. Not limiting myself, not limiting others, not binding myself, not binding others. In our society of so-called power today, we play the second and the third. It's about limiting, it's about binding, and about me becoming powerful. So we can call it an aggressive nature rather than a beautiful Shakti or the feminine which wants to express itself. So when we begin to study the Saundarya Vihari, it's about tuning within, becoming intentional, in harmony with oneself and in harmony with others. Harmony within oneself and harmony with others. The intention is for oneself, the intention is for others. We always sing a prayer, Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha. The sage says, pray for everyone's well-being. Don't just think about individual, don't think about oneself, but think about everyone. So, be powerful, but be sensitive. Be sensitive, but be powerful. And what we do, again, in our society today is we, sometimes when somebody is sensitive, we mock at them. Because we feel they are not powerful. Or if they are powerful, we praise them because we think they are powerful, but not realizing that we are killing their sensitive side. So we need both. We need the strength, the Shakti, the power. We also need the sensitive, the emotional, the understanding. And when we begin to realize that what we are doing today is trying, because in all of the confusion that we have created, all of this that I'm trying to share with you in the last few moments is confusing and scary. Because we don't quite understand this whole concept of yin and yang, Shiva and Shakti, masculine and feminine. Because we have related all of this to either this or this. When you go to Europe, you see a man wearing a pink shirt and purple pants. And it's beautiful. And you come to the United States, Navinji said he was wearing a pink kurta one day, and possibly a white lungi or white pajama, and somebody said to him, "Don't come to this country and wear this color." Now you can take it to mean whatever you think it means. Navinji simply smiled at him because that's what Navinji is. But again, it's what I'm trying to say is that when we begin to express this, because again, in that whole limited thought process that has been given to that individual, he has decided this or that, not realizing that it's a confluence of yin and yang, Shiva and Shakti. And that it's not good or bad, but it's simply this. And what, I remember, I think Joseph Chilton Pierce, when he first met Baba Muktananda, and he talked about this whole concept, but not quite in this way, but he said, when Baba Muktananda walked down the ramp in South Fallsburg, he said he was like a man who was pregnant. Because his book is The Cosmic Egg. So he talks about, I look at this person, he's a man, but he's walking as if he's pregnant. Baba had a big belly, what he called the kumbhaka. So, of course, then you have to go back now to read what Joseph Chilton Pierce said about all of that. So, all of this is a revelation in each one of our lives. So as we begin to think about this Shiva and Shakti and what is it that Adi Shankara and all of these people, what do they want us to know, what do they want us to understand, and how we must approach this hymn. So it says, if Adi Shankara, with an open mind, has poured out his ideas about various religious systems as they come up in the course of composing this hymn, therefore, for that reason, we must not make the mistake of thinking that his work contains a mix-up of various concepts. Like him, we too must have an open mind. Indeed, our mind must be wrapped in the hymns as we read it, and we must let the lahari means wave, take its course. We must also, in all humility, pray to the Acharya and to Amba thus, may we be rewarded with good by reading the hymn. If we do so, we will become absorbed in the same feelings and emotions as those of the Acharya. We will in fact be bathed in them and rewarded with happiness that is divine. You can begin to think and realize that all of this is something that I often tell people you have to sit. You take a thought and just allow it to go inside of you. Wash your inner being. Become filled with the feeling, an expanded feeling, and not try in a limited sense to try, to understand what is it that the sage is saying. Because the sage is the ocean. We are but a limited glass. And from this limited sense, we try to imagine what is the ocean. I've shared this plenty of times before, that there is no fish in here. You cannot fit a whale or a shark in this. And therefore, while this water is no different than the water from the ocean, because this is water, H2O, that is water, H2O, but yet this is a limiting form. And in this limiting form, when I say form, I mean the body, the mind. Now, this body and mind then tries to understand this whole concept of Shiva and Shakti, of yin and yang, of consciousness. So as in the case of St. Francis, when the child tells St. Francis to understand the ocean, throw the cup into the ocean. Meaning throw your limitedness, your smallness. And that is what here Chandrasekhara Saraswati tells us, that we must pray to the Acharya and to Amba that may I be able to think and feel and understand like you are able to. So again, go back to the masculine and feminine. So when we think about masculine, we think about power. We think about feminine, we think about radiating love and light. So all of this exists in all of universe. So let us learn to be expansive. Let us learn to be fluid. Let us learn to be moving and non-linear. So you're not this or that and that, and realize that all of these energies are imbued in all of creation. So it is challenging at some point to say, I got it. But as I often say to people, you say I got it, but when pushed, they'll say, wait a moment, I'm not so sure I got it. Because when you got it, as we read in the Guru Gita, it says, Yasya amatam tasya matam matam yasya navedasa. One who says, I got it or I know it, know that he or she has not got it. And one who says, I don't know that they have understood it, because they have realized that you can't, in a limited way or form, grasp the vastness of what is the truth. Oh, I have this thing I'm supposed to use. I heard Umesh used it last week, so Devani said, go ahead. So, but Prabal was kind, he wrote in blue and red and blue, because Shiva represents blue, or the male represents, and so all of this is there. And I put Om and Shree both on top, because Om is the sound of the primordial creation. Shree is abundance. Shree is Shree, positiveness. So, when we look at this whole scriptural thought process, we begin to realize that all of it is a constant dance between these two energies. Life itself, the universe itself, is like that. So, there are many examples that are given of how the banks of the river are like a masculine. The river itself, the water, is feminine. The bank is still, it does not move, it holds the river, and the river flows. So the flow of the water traveling along with all of the force of gravity and the water's movements in whatever way the bank leads it. So however the bank is, the water moves along. So if you take away the banks, you would no longer have a river, you just have a cascade of water that's all over, but that's diffused without direction. And if you took away the water, you would no longer have a river. So all of this exists in life, and the dance between these two energies is what we speak of when we speak of Shiva-Shakti, when we speak of masculine, feminine, when we speak of yin and yang. So, again, think of sattva, think of rajas, think of tamas. Think of how you can be freeing, or you can be limiting, or you can be binding. And we do this each and every single moment of our life. We're always in this dynamic play. There's the fear that if I become free and if I set others free. No, we don't want that. So in every relationship, we are about limiting and binding. I won't go into the dynamics of any of that because I'll let you figure that out of how you do that. How do you try to control a relationship, a friendship, a whatever it is, mother, father, son, daughter, and how you're always about. Instead of just being free. How each one of us thinks, I am going to make this situation perfect. Now you think of the universal energy, it just puts us here and says, okay, now figure it out. Really, when we think of that, it's about that sense of freedom. If a bird on top of the bare mountain knows that this is the way I have to keep my eaglet warm, that intuition, that intrinsic nature, knowledge exists within that, that means that exists within us also. But now we are limited to a book, that only from the book will I understand what is right and what is wrong. The book is simply to help us gather some words, to gather some information, but really it is about how can I be, how can I. So I suggest you get the book, you read a little bit. It's a lot in there. And try to understand, rather than get yourself confused. Begin, as the Shankaracharya says here, to do sadhana, to do spiritual practice. And why you want to do spiritual practice? So that the concepts dealt with in this book required learning the hymn at the feet of a guru. In such cases, the mature and the deserving receive instruction from the guru. And it also means that only those who could grasp the meaning of the passages in the right spirit, passages that are otherwise likely to be improperly interpreted, were taught. So in the Guru Shishya tradition, in the Guru disciple tradition, what has to be treated as a mystery, as a secret, remained well protected from the undeserving and the immature. Stanzas dealing with elements of the scripture or containing certain poetic imagery or descriptions were not elaborated upon when it came to explaining the hymn or to the people in general. They were briefly touched upon or glossed over. So meaning there's so much depth, so much what the right word is right now. So much that actually needs not to be understood with the physical mind, but rather with a much more intuition or thought process that's much further than the way we think and process in our life. Because we always want to know, is this what you mean or is that what you mean? If this is what you mean, then that means this is not what you mean. If this is not what you mean, then this is what you mean. So it becomes a play of words. But whereas when you go beyond that whole entire physical thought process, there's a much stronger or greater intuition by which you understand what it is. So you find all of that has been explained here in this book, and why, and why we should do all of that. So I think that's enough for today. I have one more place that I've marked, but I think we let it be. You look at some of the talks that have happened over these last 2.5 months. They're on YouTube, I think, Sunday Satsang. And if you want more in depth, then there is what Dana referred to as the study group, which happens every other Saturday. And a lot of it just goes, no matter how intellectual you consider yourself to be, because there are terms, there are words, there are things that are said that you have to just sometimes sit, write a word down, and ponder that word. So, the book is Saundarya Lahari. There's 2 parts, Saundarya Lahari and Ananda Lahari. The wave of beauty, the wave of bliss. And there's 72, I think, right? 72. Okay, 41 Ananda Lahari.
And the rest up to 103.
103 total. So there's a whole story associated with that, with Adi Shankara from Kailasa, and how he's got the book, and the Nandi, etc., etc., etc. So I started telling people that every conversation that you have must have a focus. Any conversation without a focus is gossip. So going forward, when you sit down with somebody, if you have a conversation that doesn't have a focus, realize that you must just stop it, get up and walk away. Because it's just rattling on nonsense, which is what social media does, sorry to say. But there is no truth to it. It's just somebody said something, then the other one just takes forward that one very thought, and we begin to watch, the word used is influencers. And some people think, so, I know it's all a game of words. So, think of all this, I think we meet not next Sunday, but the Sunday after. Because Devyani has us traveling this upcoming week. We're going to go towards Virginia and Delaware and Maryland to celebrate Master Charles's 80th birthday. Right? Master Charles was a very yin and then yang person. He lived in Virginia in a beautiful place in the Blue Mountains, a disciple devotee of Baba Muktananda. And he developed what he called synchronicity. Sound waves, which is also another form of meditation. So anyway, we'll chant for about 20 minutes. Chant is up here, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna. And again, it's yin and yang, Shiva and Shakti, Rama and Krishna. So.
धन्य धन्य हो प्रदक्षिणा सद्गुरु रायाचे झाले पर सुरवर विमान उतरा याचे
धन्य हो प्रदक्षिणा सतगुरु रायाची धन्य धन्य हो प्रदक्षिणा सतगुरु रायाची झाले सुरवरा विमान धन्य धन्य हो प्रदक्षिणा सद्गुरुराया
जो पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धु ससखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव दुरकरो दुःखदर सबं करो भगवान् मन मंदिर में पुष्पालहो तेरा निर्मल ज्ञान जिसा घर में हो आरती चरण कमल चितला नारी वासा करे जोता नांत जगाए जहाँ भक्त कीर्तन करे प्रेम दरिया तहाँ नारी श्रवण करे सत्य लोक से आए सब कुछ दिया आपने व्यक्त कर ज्ञानान नमस्कार की प्रेम करुण जोड़न में दोनों हाथ नमस्कार की प्रेम करुण जोड़न में दोनों हाथ ओम पूर्णमद पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति 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 सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय गच्छत्वं संवदध्वं संभो मनां सिजानतां देवा भगम्यता पूर्वे संजानना उपासते समानो मंत्र समिति समाने समानं मनां साचित्तमे शां समानं मन्त्रमविमन्त्रये वसमाने रवो हविषाजुहोमि समाने व आकुति समाना हृदयानि Sadgurunath Maharaj ki jai. So this concludes our Sunday morning satsang and arrival program with Gurudev. And we're all so joyous and so thrilled to have him back in residence, even if it's just for 1 month. So an overview of our upcoming month, as Gurudev mentioned, he will be traveling down to Virginia beginning on Tuesday and returning the following Monday. Next weekend, on Saturday, we have the last of the first 3 months of the Shiva-Shakti study group with Niteshwari, so that's on March 15th. And then on the Sunday morning satsang, we will have it here at Namaste. Now that we're all set up here, we'll have it here at Namaste, and Dana will be the speaker next week on the topic of Shiva-Shakti. And also, for those of you who are a part of the Shiva-Shakti study group, so you'll be having in your email today, you'll get a notice that will say if you want to continue for the next 3 months, 6 months, or 9 months for the rest of the year, that you can register there. So there is a deadline, I think, of April 7th that is stated on there. So that's 3 months, 6 months, or 9 months. Then when Gurudev comes back on the 17th, we have that upcoming weekend, which is March 22nd. That'll be the official first day of the course, of the Shiva-Shakti course. The intensive is open to everyone. That is on the 22nd, and in the evening, we have the Sarod Violin Tabla concert following that, so that is on the 22nd evening. And then on the 23rd, our Sunday morning satsang with Gurudev here, and then we continue with the course, the Shiva-Shakti course, which continues from Monday through that Friday, and then we go right into Navaratra starting on the Saturday. So, and then we have a whole 9 days of the Navaratra to that following April 5th on a Saturday. So, so much to partake in, so much to come and be nourished by. And when Gurudev shared that story, it's amazing because you never know kind of what is going to trigger something in us, either mentally, physically, on a subtle level, or emotionally. And when he said the story about the river and the barriers of the river, and that without one or the other, how you would have no river, that just brought incredible emotion. And I really, in that moment, it was so palpable. And I said, how fortunate we are to continue to sit in the company of that presence of knowledge, of that presence of experience, of that presence of transmission, that experience of Shakti, that experience of grace. And even if it rattles us maybe a little to the left or a little to the right, at least if we have that knowledge, we can sit with it, as he mentioned, and ponder over it, and let it take residence in it, and let us simmer some of those different fires that get, that start to become a flame, or different elements that, as we were talking about yesterday, so much about the wind, and just how to bring balance to ourselves, our minds, our inner being, just so that everything does flow with compassion, with kindness, with love. And the intensive topic, I love it, sadhana, the path of love, and it's from Baba Muktananda's Play of Consciousness, page 237, in case anyone would like to start reading up on it before we have the intensive here with Gurudev. So much to take in, so much to embrace. And again, Gurudev, thank you for making the effort to travel. As we all know, the travel industry has become a little more complicated now, a little more complex. So we do deeply appreciate your physical presence here as much as you can, whenever you can.
However you can.
However you can. And also, I want to acknowledge 2 people who are here today. One is Shreya and her lovely beloved father. They have traveled from Argentina, and your father is how old? Almost 90 years old. And the background of that story for a moment is that Shreya went through a brain surgery. And before she took the surgery, she said, she was so convinced, she said, I'm going to be great. I have the guru, I have the guru, I have the guru, I have the guru, I have Guru's grace. And she would be in touch like every couple of days, literally, with voice memos and pictures and every step of the way. And she kept saying, please inform Gurudev, please inform Gurudev, please inform Gurudev. And when she went in for the surgery, she said, when I come out, the first thing I'm doing is I'm making my reservations, my plane tickets with my father, and we are traveling to Walden. Literally, they got here yesterday. And it's just amazing that when you really, really deeply commit and have that faith and that trust to the core, that it really does take care of everything. And in her case, she's here physically with all of us here after quite an ordeal. So everybody at this time is invited to come up for darshan. And then following that, we have lunch prasad. And today we have cauliflower potato sabji, chapatis, dal, and we also have gulab jamun by Mrs. Sharma, who's there in the back, and her husband's birthday's on Monday. Sharmaji's birthday's on Monday, tomorrow. And also we have lovely homemade chocolate chip cookies from Ingrid, something local as well. So everyone enjoy that. Also for everybody, as you can see, a lot of the new gift shop product is up, so take your time and peruse the gift shop over there. We'll keep the lights on so you can see everything and feel everything and touch everything. And with that, everybody, please come for darshan. And we'll see you not next Sunday, but the Sunday after. But everybody, please do come next Sunday. We will have Sunday morning satsang, 9 o'clock a.m. till 12 o'clock noon. Sadhguru Maharaj Ki Jai.